You know, I had a lot more to say before I started recording, but then I just hit record and nothing came out of my mouth. Hey, I haven't been here in a while for long form kind of content, and that's just because I haven't been feeling good. I've been feeling quite like shit. So I've been gone and just like busy doing some other things. It kind of prompted me to do this because someone on my Twitch stream, if you ever want to come and join us, please do at twitch.tv/here please. Do I know my own Twitch name? But it's called 7 Ways to Maximize Misery, and it came out 6 years ago by CGP Grey, but I haven't been feeling good, and I figured this video actually makes me feel a little bit better, not because that it does, but because that'll call out all of my bad habits to then help me be aware. That is not a sentence. To be self-aware, to be aware of what I'm doing, that I'm self-sabotaging myself. So the past few days, weeks haven't been the greatest for me. I know you always see me smiling on the internet, and that just is what my face looks like. But on the inside, I'm a sad, sad girl, and I need to fix that. Yesterday, I just couldn't get out of bed. I really couldn't. It was so hard. It wasn't a good day. And I don't want to do that anymore. But also, I just want y'all to know that y'all should be, I guess, expecting maybe in the new year some different type of content. Maybe not, I don't know. Maybe some gaming content, maybe some reactionary content, maybe just content and where I'm just talking. But I just want to try some different things because I'm not really sure what people like from me on YouTube. Hence why it's all over the place. I know you come for the interviews, but I can't do that all the time because sometimes I just need to be alone. I know you think I'm an extrovert all the time. No. So today we're going to be watching 7 ways to maximize our misery, because why not be more miserable? Exactly. How stupid does that sound? So let's get into it.
Happiness. Many will advise you how to obtain it, but maybe you're not trying to be happy. Your actions aim for the opposite. You want to be the saddest saddo sailing on the sea of sadness. Much easier to achieve, and this video has 7 tactics to get you started toward the dark currents. At least
see, I feel like now we know most people don't want this, right? We know we don't want to be sad. I don't want to be miserable for the rest of my days. I don't. I really don't. Does my body want to? Probably not. Am I being it? Maybe a little bit. So I feel like the ridiculousness, that used to be a show, of this video, we all know is so ridiculous that we might be scared straight. Scared out of depression. We about to be scared out of depressed.
one of which you are already doing. So let's begin. First, stay still. Remain indoors as much as possible, preferably in the same room. Be the human equivalent of a pile of laundry.
See, we're not off to a good start. That's exactly what I did yesterday. I didn't move. To be equivalent to a pile of laundry, I'm quite sure there's a pile of laundry that needs to be done. I'm quite sure there's a pile of laundry right now downstairs that hasn't moved, just like I haven't. We need to exercise, clearly.
Inert, unmoving. Don't let a beautiful day tempt you for a walk. Avoid anything even vaguely exercisial. This keeps reward chemicals out of your brain, which could divert you, and stillness guides you towards medical problems, which will keep this wheel turning. Stillness is the most effective thing you can do. So be the laundry pile. Make your bedroom your all room. Live and work and play and sleep in the smallest radius you can.
This is horrible. Okay, so it's like the opposite of being still, like in your mind. You know how they think that, you know how that's good for you to, like, you know, meditate, relax, let your thoughts go in, let them flow, bring them back, be still. Not actually still. Don't be a potato. Jeez, are we potatoes?
Which brings us to screw with your sleep.
Nice.
The Wraith of Insomnia will be your co-pilot on the sea of sadness.
I knew this one.
Her mere presence is unpleasant, but she also helps confuse the productive part of your brain, which might look to navigate you toward the islands of happiness on the horizon. More on that later.
I truly love how all the things that we naturally gravitate to do, aka be a potato and not have a good sleep schedule, deter us away from happiness. It's like it's right there. Joy could be yours. for only the free price of getting out of the bed.
Regular sleep cycle is a fragile thing and takes at least 3 days to establish.
I didn't
Be
know
sure
that.
then to vary your bedtime by several hours twice a week at least. Even better, vary your wake times. Sleep in late
I don't like how I'm being called out this hard. You're too loud, video. You're too loud.
preferably very late, some but not all days. Tell yourself you are making up for sleep to feel like you're
Not I deserve this. Oh my God, I do that. When there's like a bad negative voice in your head, and you know, we all like to self-deprecate. We all like to, ooh, hee hee, ha ha, I'm the worst, but we laugh about it and giggling because we don't believe it. I think I'm believing it. And I think you are too. Stop that. We don't deserve this. We don't. That guy doesn't deserve it. Look how nice it is outside. See his window? Man.
doing something healthy, even though you feel terrible when you wake up early and when you wake up late. Irregular sleep is another of the C's accelerating currents. The more you vary your sleep, the harder regular sleep becomes, which makes your sleep more variable. To never sleep or wake at the same time naturally is the goal. And to help in this, maximize your screen time. Staying on screen complements the previous.
So right now we're 3 for 3. 3 for 3. I'm 3 for 3. Oh no. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. This was one of my worst days, my worst depressive episodes. I'm not gonna lie to you. This was not a good one. And I had to take really reactive measure the next day because of how bad it was. I stayed in bed the entire day. I'm not exaggerating. And you know what I did? I didn't even cut on the TV. I tried. I couldn't even focus. All I did was scroll on TikTok the entire day, most of it. There were times where I stopped and I just laid there and looked at the ceiling and maybe like turned a little bit, maybe played some YouTube videos, had some little bit of variation, went on Instagram, maybe went on Twitter. That sounds bad.
Sailing tactics. Boredom could drive you to motion, so let the screen entertain you. Tiredness can push you to sleep, so let the screen keep you awake. Sort of, as long as possible. Always fall asleep with a screen in your hand and put your eyes back on it as soon as you wake. Every moment away from a screen is a moment you might notice the horizon.
That sounds so insane when you think about it. Like, just think about that. Not that you're on your phone all the time. Again, I'm not always on it like on 24/7 mode, right? This is mainly when I'm in a depressive episode or I'm feeling very, very, very bad. Like, this is when I'm like peak. I feel guilt, shame, self-sabotaging. I'm just not in a good headspace whatsoever. It's so crazy to go to sleep with a phone screen and then wake up to one. I get it. Y'all have to have your phone alarms to go off, right? You have to wake up. But like, just wake up. And I'm talking to myself as well. So you're not alone on that one, coach. And I also just find it hard. I don't know what to do. I mean, I could journal, I could read a book, I could read a comic, I could do so many other things now that I think about it before I go to sleep. Like, I don't have to like scroll for like 30 minutes before I'm like, all right, that's enough TikTok, let's go to bed. That's not healthy. Maybe I should read a book. I'm gonna download Audible.
Keep your head down and let the currents pull you. Here you have allies unknown. Behind the screen are teams of the smartest people and brightest bots competing to hold your attention on them as long as possible. Let them reach you, to pull you back if you turn away. Plus, screens help with number 4. Use your screen to stoke your negative emotions, to feed your anger or anxiety about things over which you have no control or influence. Be well informed while doing nothing. The things you care about could be navigational guides out of the sea, reasons to leave your all room and take meaningful action with the humans around you. But you can instead use the things you care about as further sources of misery. Focus on the bad to fuel your resentment or despair. If you must contribute, do so only in meaningless
not to like harp on the title, but this does sound miserable.
token ways and be disappointed in the lack of change. We're coming towards the end, and if you're doing it right, misery is descending. But some part of your brain is rebelling, trying to turn the ship by setting a goal. If you're not careful, that part of your brain just might save you. But luckily, we can do more than just hobble it. We can fool it to navigate deeper into the sea. To reach goals, they must be specific, measurable, actionable, for which you are responsible and time-bounded. I will turn the wheel 1 degree right now. Instead, set the productive part of your brain on vapid goals. Vague, amorphous, pie in the sky, irrelevant, delayed. Make the target unclear and the path unclear. If motivation strikes, aim ridiculously high to guarantee failure. I will clean the whole house today is much.
I've been a victim. Like sometimes you want to set goals because you want to do something with your life, right? You want to be successful. You feel compelled or motivated, but sometimes when you kind of set that goal, it makes no freaking sense, right? It doesn't make any sense at all. You can't just say, let's just watch the video. Shut up.
Much better than I will do the laundry in this pile. Cleaning a whole house is impossible. There's always more to do, so you will always fail. Focus on goals that are after what you wish to achieve. Learn how to market an app before you learn to code. This will distract the productive part of your brain.
Run first, crawl later? Wait, that's a fire t-shirt design.
And be sure to wait for motivation rather than setting a time. You'll do something when you feel like it, which will be never or never.
Okay, so I feel like people always have this issue, even me sometimes, which is why I had to start making schedules for myself when I want to get goals done. People always say that they want to work when they're just motivated. I personally, I don't know. Everyone is different, right? I don't know. I don't know who you are. I'm only just a person in the screen, and who knows if I'm real? You've never met me, unless you have. Now, of course, I'm gonna say a sentence. What was I gonna say though? You're not always gonna be motivated for something. Trust me, I know from yesterday. Now, that's not to say don't work when the motivation hits, but sometimes you need to actually put solid time frames or allotted slots within your schedule when you're gonna force yourself to work on a specific task about a specific thing. Specific thing, because it's not always going to come out to you. So you kind of have to train yourself to work on it and then come up with ideas when you're in that allotted time. And you never know, inspiration or motivation might hit, but I promise you, no matter how much you love doing something, well, I don't want to promise you because I don't know. I never wanted to break a pinky promise with one of my coolest friends on the internet, aka the comment section. But it's just not always going to hit. And if it's not always gonna hit, how you gonna hit it? You feel me? I feel like I wanted to sound insightful there, but it just sounded idiotic, but it makes sense in my head.
Or never enough to matter. With vapid goals, you will turn the productive part of your brain from a dangerous source of self-improvement that rewards every small step into a consistent nag that berates you for your failure to have already accomplished your goal.
You have to see this. This is still not done, loser. That hurts. And your brain saying that? Jeez, this guy's brain is mean. He said small, measurable goals get you a little happy and you can reward yourself. And then the long ones that don't make no sense and you just constantly nag on yourself how you're horrible and the worst. Does that sound familiar? Stop it. Get some help.
Now, the vapid goals you've set should distract the productive part of your brain, but if it still fights against you, direct it towards the mirage on the sea of sadness.
I love how your brain is constantly trying to distract you to do something else that you know you should do, and you're just like, nah, let's give in to bad habits. Screw it.
Islands of happiness themselves. Pursue happiness directly.
Ooh.
The human mind is such that by setting sail towards happiness, you will achieve the opposite. Imagine happiness as a place where happy people are happy all the time. This turns happiness into an unreachable feeling of constant bliss.
I want to show you guys a book before we finish. And I picked it up perfectly. I don't know what lie we were told that we can just be happy all the time? Or what kind of theory in our head that we've concluded to with no evidence whatsoever, no background, no statistics, no people involved that told us their findings, that we can just be happy all the time? And like happiness will just be happy. Like, you know how people are just like, what's your goal for the new year? You're like, I just want to be happy. That is, you're gonna fucking be sad. You know, it's a good book that kind of helped with this theory. It's this book called How to Be Perfectly Unhappy. And what this book talks about is how our framework and how we define happiness is so pretty much lame and not good and not really descriptive, that we have this just like vague notion of what it means, so we never can truly get there because the definition in the first place was never truly defined, or we never defined it for ourselves. Okay, we just assumed what it should be or what it is without actually knowing what that entails or what that looks like for our own lives. I'm spitting. Grab that saliva, bitch.
True happiness is like a bird that might land on your ship, but never if you constantly stand guard to catch it. Instead, improve your ship and sail into warmer waters. The bird will land when you aren't looking. So be sure never to do that. Aim toward the mirage of happiness rather than improving the ship upon which you sail. Last, but most important, follow your instincts. Navigation deeper into the sea of sadness is quite easy, for there is a dark magnetic field that points the compass of your impulses in the right
Misery loves
direction
company.
once you get started. You will want to stay indoors. You will want to not exercise. You will want to sleep in. You will want to do what you know will make you sadder after you've done it. Your compass points the way, both in and out. So follow the true north of your impulses and stay away from that other pole of the long term. It's all so simple. Just get started with these tactics and let the sea carry you along.
I was gonna say I don't like how loud that video is, but I appreciate how loud that video is. It was a pretty insightful video. It definitely described everything that I'm doing wrong and everything that I naturally go towards, because when you're sad, there's just something about not fixing it that really gets you into a rut. So I'm gonna make a call to my therapist and see them soon so I can change all these behaviors. I'm going outside. I'll see you guys next time. Let me know if you want to see anything else.